Catholic High Prelim paper for 2025. This is paper 2. Question number 1 is a speed question, so we'll skip this question since it's not tested. Okay, so skip speed. Okay, the question 2. During a sale, a laptop was sold for $1,072 after a 20% discount. So how much was the usual price of the laptop? Okay, now if this laptop was sold at 1072 after a 20% discount, then 80% of the original price is 1072. Okay, that's the discounted price. Then what you'll find next is to find 1% of the original. So you want to divide by 80 and you get 1340. Next, you want to find the original price, the usual price. So usual price is 100%. So 1340 times 100. 1340. Next, question 3. A fruit seller packed 880 apples into bags of 4 for sale. The price of each bag of apples was $7.80. How much money did the fruit seller collect after selling all the bags of apples? Okay, so firstly, we need to find how many bags are there. 860 apples into bags of 4. So 860 divided by 4, that will give us 215 bags. Now, every bag was 780. So the amount of money collected would be 215 times 780. Okay, that will give us 1,677. Question 4. Figure 1 is a triangle with perimeter of 39 cm. Each side of the triangle has a different design. Figure 2 is made up of 5 such triangles. Perimeter of figure 2 is 87 cm. So what is the length of ST in figure 1? ST is where the height is. Okay, so the perimeter of figure 1 is 39, which means you have the moon, the sun, and the heart. So 1 moon, the crescent, 1 sun, 1 heart is 39 cm. How about figure 2? Figure 2 is 87. You have, okay, let me highlight easier to see. Moon, the crescent, the crescent, the crescent, sun, sun, sun. Then you have the heart. So 3 crescents, 3 sun, and 1 heart. Is 87. Okay, then you compare these two. What you can do is to find, you can either times 3. Okay, let's do that. 3 crescents, 3 sun, 3 hearts, would be 39 times 3. So 117. Now you compare these two lines, the second and the third line. So you get like two hearts. So two hearts. So this and this to get your two hearts, the difference. So 117 minus 87, which is 30. Okay, so one heart is 30 divided by 2, 15. So that the answer is 15 because ST is the heart. Heart. We're looking for the heart, the side with the heart. Question 5. A shop sells only 3 types of toys. You have the robot, car, and doll. So the number of toys are shown here. Find the total number sold in terms of P. So we need to add everything up. P plus 2P plus 8 plus 45. P plus 2P is 3P. 8 plus 45 is 53. So answer 3P plus 53. Now for part B, the shop sold a total of 140 toys. So how many toy robots did the shop sell? Okay, the total is 3P plus 53. So they're saying if this 3P plus 53 has a value of 140, okay, so we have this equation here. To find 3P, it will be 140 minus 53, which is 87. The value of P is 87 divided by 3, which is 29. Okay, either P or 1P. They want toy robots. Robots is P, just P. So P is 29. Answer 29. Question 6. Table below shows the number of visitors to a zoo from Thursday to Saturday. Sunday is not shown. Number of visitors to the zoo on Sunday increased by 15% when compared to Saturday. So what's the number of visitors on Sunday? If you compare it to Saturday, means this is 100%. Okay, so this is 100%. If it increases by 15%, this will be 115%. Okay, so I want to find 115% of 3580. You can either do the unitary method, which means you have this 100% is 3580. Then you find 1%, then you find 115%. Okay, so divide by 100. 35.8. 35.8 times 115. 4117. 4117. Okay, either that method or if you want to find 115% of 3580, you can also do 115 over 100 times 3580. Okay, we'll get the same answer, 4117. So either method is fine. Okay, then for part B, what's the percentage decrease from on Friday compared to Thursday? If you're comparing against Thursday, Thursday is the base, the denominator. Okay, percentage decrease is, okay, find decrease first. We need to know what's the decrease. So Friday compared to Thursday, what's the decrease? 3110. 3100 minus 2690. Decrease is 410. So decrease over original. So we're comparing it against Thursday. So over Thursday, 3100. We want percentage. So you times 100%. Okay, in your calculator, you should get like 13.5. 226 and so on percent. Round it to one decimal place. So let's round, approximation sign. One decimal place, this is a 0.2. Okay, so answer 13.2%. Question 7. In the figure, ABC is an isosceles triangle. AB equals to BC. Okay, make sure you mark out the equal signs. Then DEC is a parallelogram. So you also have equal signs here. These two would be equal. AFE is straight line. You got 142 degrees. Find where's FED, this angle marked out over here. Now take note, we have parallelogram, so you have parallel lines as well. Don't forget. Okay, so firstly, let's find angle BCA with BCA. I have isosceles triangle here. So if I know this is 48, I can find this angle over here. Okay, minus 48, then you divide by 2. (180 minus 48) divide by 2. This is 66 degrees. Okay, from here, right, what I want to find is this. Okay, let me use different colors. I want to find this angle here. AFC. With AFC, after that, I'll find CFE. And CFE is the alternate angle of FED. Okay, let's find AFC first. So in a triangle, 180 minus 53 and 66. 61 degrees here. Okay, then next, I will find CFE here. That's a straight line, so 180 minus 61. Which is 119. Then take note, we have parallel lines, right? So this, can you see a Z? It's your alternate angles. So we're finding FED is the same as angle CFE, which is 119 degrees. Okay, so we have this FED, which is what we want. Question 8. A baker sold some boxes of tarts and cookies. Each box of tarts cost $3.10 and each box of cookies cost $5.50. The baker sold twice as many boxes of tarts as boxes of cookies. He earned a total of $1,439.10. How many boxes of tarts did he sell? Okay, this question talks about number of boxes and it also talks about the cost of boxes. Okay, so two things. One is quantity, the other is the value. Okay, so I will use the quantity value table for this question. So I have tarts, I have cookies. In terms of quantity, it's twice as many boxes of tarts, so 2 and 1. Okay, in one group, I have 2 T and 1 C. Value means the value of one box. So one box of tarts would be 310. One box of cookies would be 550. Next, I will find total value. Total value means if I have two boxes of tarts, how much would that be? So 2 times 310, that is 620. Then the other one will be 1 times 550, which is just 550. Okay. So he earned a total of 143.1. You should be finding the total amount of money. Okay, that is only in one group. So in one group, I have 620, I have 550. The total that he would earn in one group is 1170. So the number of groups. Now this step, please label number of groups, okay? Some of you probably know you're supposed to divide, but you don't know what you're finding. So when you take 1439.10, you divide by the amount in each group, you are actually getting the number of groups. So in this case, it's 123 groups. How many boxes of tarts did he sell? So the question is asking for boxes of tarts. So in one group, I have 2 boxes of tarts. Do not multiply by the value, by the money. Okay, I'm not finding the cost. I'm just finding how many boxes. So in one group, there's 2. So you take 123 times 2. Okay, so answer 246. Question 9. Okay, patterns. First 4 figures in the pattern are shown below. You have this table showing the number of dots as well as the number of lines. A figure in a pattern has 232 lines. What is the figure number? Okay, if you look at the number of lines, right, you have 4, 8, 12, 16. And that is actually multiples of 4. So the answer for this is has got to do with multiples of 4, right? So take note that number of lines will be like 4 times 1, then 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4. So the figure number times 4. 4 times the figure number to get the number of lines. So this 232 is the number of lines. Okay, don't multiply by 4. Instead, you should divide by 4 because we are trying to find the figure number, not the number of lines. So answer 58. So just to check, sometimes it's like +1 or -1. So let's say example figure 3, it's 4 times 3. So if this is 3, figure number is 3, so okay. So you divide by 4, get 58. That is the figure number. For part B, find the total number of dots. Okay, number of dots. What's the pattern for number of dots? Number of dots is a common difference pattern where you keep adding 3. So we're going to use interval concept. So every +3 is what we call an interval. Okay, if they are, we are talking about figure 70, how many intervals would that be? So 70 minus 1. Number of intervals is always 1 less. So if there are 69 intervals and every interval is a +3, so 69 intervals would give a total of 69 times 3, which is 207. So all the +3s will add up to 207. All your +3s is actually adding to the very first figure, which has a value of 4. So you need to add 4. 207 plus 4. So answer 211 dots. Question 10 is on speed. So we can skip. 11. Okay, so you have 2 stacks of paper cups. There are 4 in the shorter stack, and this is 6 paper cups in the taller stack. Height of the shorter stack is 21, taller stack 25. Find the height of a paper cup. If you compare 21 and 25, the difference is 4. And the difference of 4 is for these 2 additional cups. So 4 divided by 2 equals 2. This is 2. Then you look at this here will be 2 times 3, 6. So your paper cup is 21 minus 6, which is 15. Height, okay, so cm. Now for part B, hold on. Okay, for part B, Mrs. Ong wants to pack the paper cups as a single stack into the box of length 50 cm. What is the most number of paper cups she can pack into the box? Okay, so this is the box here lying horizontally. If you look at the stacks, right, the first cup will take up 15 cm of height, and then every subsequent cup will be 2 cm. So firstly, 50 cm, you need to minus off the 15 cm first. So 50 minus 15 minus the first cup. So don't forget, we are taking away the first cup. Now this 35 we'll divide by 2 to find like the number of additional cups that it can fit. So 35 divided by 2 is 17, remainder 1. This 1 cm, you cannot fit anymore, okay? So you can only fit a maximum of 17 plus the first cup that we took away. So 17 plus 1. This is for the first cup. It's not from the remainder. Not from the remainder. Okay, from the very first cup that we took away, the 15 cm. Okay, next question 12. At first, 1/11 of a tank was filled with water. A tap was turned on at 10 o'clock. For more water to flow into the tank, it was turned off at 10:20. So this graph shows the volume of water over the 20 minutes. Okay, how many liters of water flowed from the tap in 1 minute? So if you look at the graph, right, let's label the amount of water at each time. So between 50 and 100, that's 75 liters. I'm going to pick points that I can read easily. So maybe here at 10 is 150. And the last one will be, every interval is a 25, so there's a 225 liters. Okay, between 75 and 150 liters, right, there is an increase of 75 liters in how much time? In 10 minutes. Okay, so in that 10 minutes, there is an increase of 75 liters. They're asking for 1 minute, so you find 1 minute. So you divide by 10. 7.5 liters. Part B, at 10:30, the tap was turned on again to fill the tank to the brim at the same rate as before. So at what time will the tank be filled to the brim with water? So if you look at the graph here, we know that it stopped at this point and it's not full yet. Okay, it's gonna be it will continue to run at 10:30 until it's being filled to the brim. So the only thing we know about how much of the tank is being filled is this 1/11. 1/11 is the start. Okay, it's at the start. So 1/11 of the tank was filled. That was 75 liters. So 1/11 of the tank at first, which is 75 liters. Then the capacity of the tank, the whole tank, 75 liters times 11, which is 825 liters. At 10:20 is 225, so how much more do we need? So 825 minus 225, this is 600 liters. You need another 600 liters to fill it up to the brim. Now, how long will it take? Earlier on from part A, I know in 1 minute it's 7.5 liters. So the time taken will be 600 divided by 7.5. Okay, which is 80. And 80 is minutes. I will convert it to hour minute, which is 1 hour 20 minutes. It said 10:30, right? So I have to start from 10:30. 1 hour 20 minutes later would be 11:50. Okay, so answer 11:50. Next, question 13. Susan designed the logo as shown. Logo is made up of 3 identical small quarter circles, which is this, and this. And then 3 identical big quarter circles, which is the one around the 3 smaller ones. And 2 different squares. These are the 2 squares, the small one and the big one overlapping. O is the center of the small and big quarter circles. Radius of the small quarter circle is 10 cm. So as shown here, what is the radius of the big quarter circle? Now we have this and this that are equal. And this is 10. So we can just take okay, sorry. This is equal to this. The 32 is basically made up of the 2 radius. So 32 is the diameter. Just take 32 divided by 2, which is 16. So answer for part A is 16 cm. Now for part B, you're supposed to find the total area of the logo that is shaded. Okay, so to find area, you need to have the radius of your quarter circles, which we do have. Okay, the small one is 10 cm, the big one is 16 cm. So to find this, and this, we will take 3/4 of the bigger circle minus 3/4 of the smaller circle. Okay, so let's find 3/4 of the 3/4 of the bigger circle is 3/4 times pi, 3.14 times radius, 602.88. The smaller one, we will be using radius of 10 cm. And this will be 235 5.5. So the three shaded parts will be 602.88 minus 235.5. 367.38. Now the only part I'm missing is this, which is a big square minus small square. Okay. So the big square is 16 times 16. 256. Small square is 10 times 10, which is 100. Then I'll take 256 minus 100 equals to 156. And that is this part here. So last step, you just need to add those two parts. 367.38 plus 156. 523.38 square cm, because it's area. Okay, question 14. A and B are two rectangular containers. Base area of A is twice the base area of B. A was filled with water to a height of 10 cm. B was completely empty. What's the volume of water in container A? Okay, so length times breadth times height. That will give you the volume. 4320 cubic cm. For part B, all the water from A was poured into B without spilling. How much more water was needed to fill B to the brim? So in the question, they said that the base area of A is twice of B. Let's find the base area of A before we find the base area of B. So base area of A, 36 times 12, 432. Base area of B is half of that. So we have to divide by 2. Okay, so the base area of B is 216 square cm. We have the height of B. So with base area times height, you can actually find the capacity of B. Okay, capacity of B. So base area times a height of 32 to get the capacity. So the question is how much more is needed to fill B to the brim. This water is 4320. It's transferred in. So 4320 will be in B. So you just take the capacity minus what we have, 4320. And you will get the volume that is needed to be added. Okay, so 2592 cubic cm. Question 15. Mr. Lee and Mrs. Sim bought muffins at the price as shown below. So chocolate muffins are sold at 3 for $5. Vanilla, 4 for $6. Mr. Lee bought an equal number of chocolate and vanilla muffins. He spent $24 more on the chocolate muffins. How many muffins did he buy altogether? Okay, so firstly, equal number means that I need to have equal number of chocolate and vanilla muffins, but chocolate muffins is in 3s, vanilla is in 4s. So I need to find common multiple. Okay, so 3 chocolate muffins cost $5. 4 vanilla muffins is $6. If I want equal number, common multiple of 3 and 4 will be 12. Okay, so I want 12 of each. This is times 4. So $5 times 4, which is $20. This one times 3. So $6 times 3, which is $18. Now, so in one group, I should have 12 chocolate and 12 vanilla. Question gave us the difference. He spent $24 more on chocolate muffins. So in one group, how much more did he spend? So I'm trying to find the difference, not the total. So if I compare 12 chocolate and 12 vanilla, the difference is just $2. But my total difference is $24. So next, I need to find how many groups there are. If every group is $2 and I have a total difference of 24, I will divide and I'll get 12 groups. So how many muffins did he buy altogether? 12 groups of 24. Because I have 12 chocolate, 12 vanilla. That's 24 in one group. So 12 groups of 24, which is 288. Part B, Mrs. Sims spent an equal amount of money on the chocolate muffins and vanilla muffins. What fraction of the muffins she bought were chocolate? Okay, so this time, instead of making the number of muffins the same, we want to make the money the same. Okay, so I do the same thing. So 3C is $5. 4V is $6. To make the money the same, I have 5 and 6. Common multiple, 30. So this one, I will have to times 6. So this is 18. This, I will times 5. So this is 20. Okay, so if we talk about the proportion, it's 18 chocolate to 20 vanilla. What fraction was chocolate? So chocolate is 18. Total is 18 plus 20, which is 38. So chocolate over total is 18 over 38. Simplify, you get 9 over 19. Okay, next. Question 16. Chloe spent 5/8 of her money on 3 identical books and 7 identical files. Cost of each book was 3 times the cost of each file. She bought some more files with 5/6 of her remaining money and had $4 left. So how much did she spend on the files altogether? Okay, let's draw a model. She spent 5/8 of her money, so total 8 units. Okay, 5/8 on 3 books and 7 files or 5. Okay, 5 units. Then the cost of each book was 3 times of a file. So one book is 3 units, one file is 1 unit. The book cost 3 times of the file. She bought some more files with 5/6 of her remaining money. Okay, the remainder, you want 5/6. So you cut into 6 units. She bought some more files. So some files with 5/6, so 5 units. And this is $4. How much did she spend on the files? Okay. Firstly, let's find how many units this is. Okay, so in terms of, when I say units, right, I mean the cost of it. So in terms of the cost, 3 books and 7 files would be, if one book costs 3 units, so 3 times 3U, 7 files would be 7 times 1U, so 9U plus 7U give us 16 units. So this is 16 units. Okay, in the model, right, if this is 16 units, then what's one box? Okay, so 16 divided by 5. 3.2 units. So this is 3.2 units. What about the remaining money? This is 3.2 units times 3. Remaining money. Three point two units times 3, 9.6 units. Then 9.6 units is these 6 parts here. So 9.6 units divided by 6. 1.6 units. So 1.6 units is the $4. Okay, 1.6 units is $4. Now $4. I want to find how much she spent on the files, right? So files here is $4 times 5. Okay, $4 times 5. This is $20. I don't need to know how many files, but I just need to know this is $20. Now, the other one that I need to find is this 7 files, right? So, 1.6. Okay, I want to find 1 unit before I find my 7 files, which is basically 7 units. So if where 1.6 units is $4, what about 1 unit? Okay, let's go back to 1 unit. So from here to here, divide by 1.6, which is $2.50. Okay, 1 unit is 1 file. So 1 file actually costs $2.50. 1 file costs $2.50. I have 7 files. So 7 units. This will be 1750. Now I want to find the total amount she spent on files. So it will be this $20 plus the 7 files, 1750. So 20 plus 1750, 3750. Okay, so for this question, please be careful when you talk about units. Units is the cost of the files, not the units in the model. Yeah. Okay, last question. 3 boys, Lionel, Michael, and Nate, had the same number of coins. Lionel and Michael each had a mix of 50-cent and 10-cent coins. Lionel 10 10-cent coins, Michael 15 10-cent coins. Okay, then Nate only had 50-cent coins. Okay, I'm going to draw a model with the number of coins. They had the same number. It is easier to compare and refer when you have it visually here. Okay, so I draw a model. Lionel and Michael each had a mix of 50-cent and 10-cent coins. So I know there'll be two parts. One part is your 10 cents and the other part is your 50-cent coins. Okay, let's look at the first person, Lionel. Lionel had 10 10-cent coins. Okay, so 10 10-cent coins. Okay, then Michael 15 10-cent coins. So slightly more. Okay, maybe here. So to make it easier to see, maybe I just highlight the 10-cent coins. Then the rest of it for Lionel and Michael, this would be 50-cent coins. Okay, question mark, 50-cent coins. Nate only had 50-cent coins, so everything here will be 50-cent coins. Okay, now we're comparing for part A. How much more did Lionel have than Michael? Between Lionel and Michael, right, there is a difference in the amount of money, although they have the same number of coins. Where is the difference coming from? If you compare 10 and 10, there's no difference. 50 and 50, no difference. Is this middle part here, where you're comparing against 50 and 10 cents? 50 and 10-cent coins. Okay, so like this part here, it's a difference of 15 and 10, right? So this is like 5 coins. 5 coins. So we are comparing 5 50-cent coins versus 5 10-cent coins. The difference between each 50-cent coin and 10-cent coin is 40 cents. Okay, this is if it's a 1 50-cent and 1 10-cent coin. But here we're talking about 5 50-cent coins and 5 10-cent coins. So this difference, you will have to times 5. Okay, so answer $2. There is a difference of $2 for L and M. Okay, part B. Michael used all his 50-cent coins to buy some food. He then had $8 less in coins than Nate. How many 50-cent coins did Nate have? So finding this question mark here. Okay, Michael. Michael used all his 50-cent coins and he then had $8 less in coins than Nate. They started with equal number of coins, right? So $8 less in coins than Nate. How much is that? Okay, so firstly, Michael, I know he would have 15 10-cents left. Okay, how much is that? So for Michael, after 15 10-cent coins, so 15 times 10 cents, $1.50. So after spending all his 50-cent coins, right, he would have 150. And this 150 is $8 less than Nate. So for Nate, what he has is 150 plus $8. So the money that Nate has is actually 950, and he only had 50-cent coins, right? So how many of it? So you take 950, divide by 50 cents, which will give us 19. Okay, so Nate has a total of 19 50-cent coins. Okay, so this is the end of P6 Catholic High Week 2025 Prelim paper 2.